The Omenkillers have some disturbing, nightmarish lore. But before we can talk about the Omenkillers, I should first reveal to you what an omen is. The omen are those that are born with a mutation and born without grace, and are often reviled like tarnished who had lost their grace. Omen have horns and often deformities that grow out of various parts of their body, creating a disturbing, deformed appearance. A well-known omen that you fight in-game is Morgoth, who also goes by the name Margit, the Fell Omen. Omen Rollo was known as the first Omenkiller, and was once a famous perfumer that consumed a powerful physic to rid himself of all emotion so that he could hunt down and murder all of the Omen without the interference of remorse or pity. After Rollo, other Omenkillers wore a thick apron in remembrance of their forebear Rollo, which is similar in appearance to the perfumers. Omenkillers' one true purpose is to murder the Omen. Nothing more, nothing less. They wear their masks with twisted horns carved to resemble evil spirits, seen by Omen in their nightmares, as a way of torturing them with their own fear. They wield a heavy pair of cleavers affixed with amputated Omen horns to further instill horror upon their foe. It is these very horns that give these massive cleavers their bleed damage.
Build. There are two locations that you can find the Great Omenkiller Cleaver, and you'll need both of them for this build to be complete. One is dropped by the Omenkiller at the Volcano Manor near the Prison Town Church side of Grace. The other is dropped by the Omenkiller boss in the Perfumer's Grotto Cave in the Altus Plateau. The Omen Smirk mask can be found by killing the Omenkiller outside of the Lower Capital Church side of Grace in Lendale, and provides +2 strength when worn, although it doesn't really help with defense at all. The Omenkiller robe, gloves, and boots drop after defeating the Omenkiller in the Perfumer's Ruins near the Unsightly Catacombs, also in Altus Plateau. Part of why this build is really fun is because pretty much every item can be obtained early game without killing any major bosses except for the mask. Setting the Omenkiller Cleaver's affinity to blood is probably going to be your best bet because it packs the most punch when it comes to blood loss buildup, and as we all know if you've played Elden Ring for longer than a week, bleed is completely overpowered. It scales with the health pools, meaning the larger health pool the boss has, the more the blood loss will affect that boss. It's badass. I chose to use dual Royal Knight's Resolve Ashes of War on both of my weapons. This made for an extremely powerful jump attack when dual wielding, which is always. For talismans, I chose the Lord of Blood's Exaltation, the Rotten Greatsword, Millicent's Prosthesis, and the Claw Talisman. However, this is for maximum damage output. I'd recommend switching Millicent's Prosthesis out for the Green Turtle Talisman for agile bosses, open world gauntlets, or any situation that you find yourself running out of stamina often. I'll alternate between the Stone Barb Crack tier and Thorny Crack tier, or the Opaline Bubble tier in my physic. Since Omenkillers are not far off from Perfumers, we thought it wouldn't be lore breaking to add in the Blood Boil Aromatic. Using this consumable before a boss fight increases your physical damage by 30%, max stamina by 20%, but also increases your damage taken by 25% for 60 seconds. As mentioned before, we're on New Game Plus 10 where everything kills you in 1 to 4 hits, even with the best armor in the game. So we tend to front load everything into maximum damage output because if we get hit, we're just gonna die either way, and defense doesn't really matter. Speaking of maximizing damage output, you can throw on the Raptor's Black Feathers armor to increase your jump attack, but you unfortunately won't look like the true Omenkiller that Rollo wanted you to be. You'll be a fraud. We appreciate you checking out another one of our build guides, and if you have any requests for future guides or videos, shoot us a comment down below. For more things Elden Ring, consider liking and subscribing, and as always, thanks for watching.